Hey darlings, today we are going to talk about a theory of mine, and it might be a little weird, might be a little out there, it might not pertain to some situations, but here we go. So I have a theory that if there's something we want and we are not getting it, there's a reason, and probably a good reason. So I want to give you an example. So I have been wanting to get into audiobook narrating, and I've been researching about it and learning more. I found out about a mic that is supposed to be quite good for the price. And yeah, so I was like, I want that mic. And when I forgot her name. I have her linked in a different video. But there's a lady who has really, really, really awesome tutorials. And she mentions a mic. It's the AT2020 USB Plus, I want to say. And I think when she originally said how much it was less than when I looked it up. Unless I listened wrong, I don't know. But anyway, I look it up, and it's like $229. And I'm like, that's more than I thought it was going to be. And so I was sad, but I was like, okay, I'll figure this out. I'm going to find one. I'm going to find a used one. I'm going to look for it on eBay and different places. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. So I'm looking, and there's one in my city on Facebook Marketplaces. So I message a person, and they're like, oh, I just sold it. I'm like, no, curse you, universe. So then I'm searching, looking all over, and I find one that is new for 180, also on Facebook Marketplaces. So I'm like, okay, cool. So the guy only had like a 3.6 star rating. I'm like, that's weird, but it said it had buyer protection. So I was like, okay, maybe it's fine. I don't know. Kind of seems strange. He lives in Utah. This is just weird, but I'm going to try it just in case. So I pay for it, and a shipping label's generated. And so I'm like checking it. I'm like, when are you sending it? When are you sending it? And like a day goes by, and another day goes by, and a week goes by, and he still hasn't brought it to like USPS. So I finally message him. I'm like, hey, when do you think you'll bring it to the facility so it will ship? And he reads it, doesn't say anything. I'm like, that's a great sign. So a few hours later, I'm like, yo, could you please send that in a couple of days? If that's a problem, let me know, and I'll just get a refund. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna refund that for you. And I'm like, why? Like, what happened? And he's like, yeah, the name doesn't match, and I've been burned before. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you have my money. It has come out of my account. You're not going to get burned, because I don't know if it's because my Facebook name doesn't match my PayPal name. I'm like, I don't get it. If you get it, tell me. So then I was really frustrated because I was like, now I'm back to square one. And then I like take a couple days to try. I was just like, I was like bummed out about it for whatever reason. It's a silly thing to be bummed out, but so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try again. So I go online. I just Google it. I'm like, well, I'm going to see if there's someplace selling it for cheaper. Because when I was looking through, like, you Google something, and you look at the shopping thing, and it shows you all these prices from different people. Before, most of them had been, like, $228, $229. I look, and then it shows up as $150. I'm like, what? So I go to Amazon, and it's $150. And I'm like, it's like $80 cheaper than it was a few days ago. Brand new. Not dealing with sketchy Facebook people. And I'm like, yeah. So I ordered one, and I'm excited. And that made me think of like all those like times I was kind of bummed. I'm like, why am I not getting it? Am I not supposed to? Like, what's going on? I think like they were on back order when I had checked before too, so maybe that's why the price had been jacked up. And then suddenly it fell because maybe everyone was like had them again. I don't know. I don't understand that stuff. Doggos, I love that you're playing, but you are making noise and hi. Sorry, like this. So my dogs distracted me. Not my dogs. Tangent. Watching a dog for a friend that's going through some stuff, and I'm starting to fall for her. And I don't want to. I don't want another dog. But she plays with my dog, who doesn't like to play. It's very cute. Anyway. So that was one of those things where I wasn't getting the microphone for a reason. Because by waiting, I saved $80. It was even cheaper than the, like, sketchy one from Facebook. So that was cool. And it's something I try to think about when I am in that place and I want something. There's something else that I want. And part of me knows that it probably wouldn't go particularly well, but I still want it. And sometimes I'll have this urge to throw like a little temper tantrum and be like, I want it and I want it now. And I just have to remind myself, I'm like, this, you're probably not getting it because it's not going to be good for you, or the timing's wrong. And I might get it later when the timing is right. So this has happened multiple times in my life. So a lot of times when I'm, excuse you. Yep, okay, hi. A lot of times when I'm looking back at things in my life where, again, I wanted something and I wasn't getting it, I look back and I'm like, oh, yeah, there was a reason. There was a big reason for that. Like, sometimes I think about, like, ex-boyfriends. Like, I feel like this is a very good example. And you think some of these people you're super in love with, and then maybe you broke up and you're, like, brokenhearted, and you're like, I just want them back. And then later, with hindsight and experience, you're like, I am so glad I did not get them back. I feel like that's one of those things. So I don't know. Like I said, it's a theory. It probably doesn't apply for everything. But I find it kind of helpful sometimes. It might be hard to remember in the moment, but if I can remember in the moment, it's beneficial. So take it or leave it. This was random. Okay, bye.